Sheriff's Office. We want to welcome everybody to today's Do the Right Thing ceremony for September 23rd, 2021. This is our first Do the Right Thing ceremony of the school year, and we want to thank you for being here. We got a couple people still rolling in, but we're going to get started here. As you know, the YouTube channel is broadcasting this live if you're watching it on the YouTube channel. Everybody else, if you look on your programs at the bottom, you'll have an address down there. You can simply sign on to the school district YouTube channel and watch today's ceremony anytime that you would like. Before we get started today, let's stand for our Pledge of Allegiance, and Daniele Roland is going to lead us today.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Thank you, Daniele. I'd like to begin today's ceremony by acknowledging the school board of Lee County, Chairperson Debbie Jordan of District 4, Vice Chairperson Betsy Vaughn of District 6, Mary Fisher with District 1, Melissa Giovanelli with District 2, Chris Patrica with District 3, Gwinnetta Gittens, District 5, and Kathleen Morgan with District 7. Also, Dr. Ken Savage, the Superintendent of Schools. We appreciate all you do for our Do the Right Thing program, and let's have a round of applause for the school board and Dr. Savage. And representing Sheriff Marcino here today, he'll be helping out with the certificates and the trophies, is Lieutenant Sylvester Smalls with our Youth Services Division, and Lieutenant Smalls has a few words on behalf of Sheriff Marcino.
Thanks everybody for coming out, and on behalf of the Lee County Sheriff Office, congratulations to the winners.
Thank you, Lieutenant Smalls. Also assisting us today is members of our civilian support unit. You see them around with the white shirts on. They have been scurrying about for the last 3 hours to get everything set up for today's ceremony so it runs as smooth as humanly possible. So let's give a round of applause to our civilian support unit. And I also want to thank Lieutenant Donnie Fuel of the Sheriff's Office and Jason Sill and Emily Emmerich with the Lee County School District. They are back in that little booth there, and they are running everything from the lights and sound and cameras to the live feed on the YouTube channel today. So again, thank you for all you do for us. And a shout out as well, the lovely lady here taking the pictures is Beth Shell with the Lee County Sheriff's Office. The pictures that get taken with the students, I will email to the parents probably within the week, so keep an eye out for those as well. And I also want to recognize Leah Valente, if you want to stand up. Leah Valente is with Senator Rick Scott's office, and she is a big supporter of the Do the Right Thing program, so thanks for joining us today. Okay, joining us today, a special speaker. You will mostly all recognize her name and her face, even with the mask on. Lois Tomey with Wink News has been anchoring Wink News for almost 30 years, if you can believe it. I got the privilege of working with Lois for 6 of those years at Wink TV, and I can tell you, when it comes to education and everything that you guys have done, Lois is as passionate as you can get. She is volunteered for the Southwest Florida Reading Festival for many years, and she goes to schools nonstop and reads to students. So Lois is all about children and education. So everybody, Lois Tomey.
Thank you very much, Tony. You know, we haven't been able to get in the schools, and I do miss it. I miss it tremendously. Boys and girls, you're the reason I'm here. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations to all of you for doing the right thing. Aren't we proud of them? No, boys and girls, I want to tell you a story. I was trying to think about what to talk to you about today, and I want to tell you a story about a friend of mine who died recently. And he wasn't a famous guy. You wouldn't know his name. You probably wouldn't know his face. He wasn't on social media. He wasn't on Insta. He wasn't doing TikTok videos. Wasn't on YouTube. He wasn't doing any of that stuff. He didn't have any followers because he wasn't on Facebook. But the day after he died, he was all over social media. People couldn't wait to talk about him. Why? Because he had something that everybody admires, and it's something you have too: integrity. He was honest. He was hardworking. He cared about others more than himself. And because of that, he had a lot of people who loved him. And that made him famous. You know what? That character, the same kind of character that you have shown, made him a famous person. Now, you have done the right thing. You were in a place where you made the right choice at the right time. Maybe you helped someone. Maybe you befriended someone. Maybe you had lunch with someone. Maybe it was something big. Maybe it was something small. But what it did is show your character and reveal your character. And that is so very, very important. Now, I talk to a lot of kids your age, and I ask them what they want to be when they grow up. And a lot of them say, I want to be famous. I want to be a YouTube star, make $1 million. Or I want my TikTok video to go viral, right? And that is fame, isn't it? But that fame, it's kind of fleeting. Because a TikTok video is only the viral video until the next viral video comes along and knocks you off the shelf, right? Yeah, it's true. So what I want you to seek is a different kind of fame. And that's the fame on the track that you are on right now. Because my friend, even though you might not recognize his face and you might not know his name, he was famous for having great character and great integrity. And you are on that track, every single one of you sitting up here today. Good deeds, they're never forgotten. They're never forgotten by the person you impacted. They're never going to be forgotten by the people who are here today, and they're not going to be forgotten by me. I'm very proud to be here to meet you and see you face to face, and thank you for your good deeds, for doing the right thing, and for making my community and our community a better place to live. Now, my friend died, and nobody talked about how much money he made, because there's a famous phrase, right, folks? You can't take it with you. And that's true. You can't take the money with you, but what you can take with you is your integrity and your character, and that's what people will be talking about long after you're gone, as long as you continue on this track. Good deeds last forever. They last forever with the person you impacted. They last forever with your family. They last forever with your friends. And when you die many, many, many years from now, I hope that you are still on this track and that what people say to you is, wow, he or she was a great person. They always did the right thing. Congratulations to all of you, boys and girls. Keep up the good work, and thank you for making my community a better place to live.
Thank you, Lois Tomey, Wink News. Thank you very much. We also appreciate the support we get from our business community. Now, Do the Right Thing does not use taxpayer money to run the program. It's completely funded by donations from businesses and organizations. Our two principal sponsors for this year are Lee County Electric Cooperative and Alliance Financial Group. Again, without their generosity, we couldn't honor the students behind us today. So let's thank Lee County Electric Cooperative and Alliance Financial Group with a warm round of applause. And we're here today to honor, again, some outstanding students who have really stepped up and made a difference at their respective schools. Without further ado, let's get going today. Our first award winner is Terrell Leggett. Let's have a round of applause for Terrell Leggett. Did Terrell have to leave? Oh, Terrell, come on up. I know he had to get out of here quickly. Go stand next to the deputy, Terrell. Thank you. Terrell lives in Lehigh Acres and attends Mirror Lakes Elementary School. His principal is Amy Boback, and school resource officer is Deputy Candace DeRoe. And if those with Terrell want to come up, and we'll get your pictures as well. Terrell Leggett is a second grader at Mirror Lakes Elementary School. In nominating Terrell, teacher Mackenzie Price writes, Terrell is an exceptional student who always has a positive attitude. He is a very loving student who loves to make his teachers and peers smile. Terrell loves coming to school and always tries his best at everything he does. He's a very good leader and helper in class who goes out of his way to assist friends who need some extra assistance. He always includes his classmates in all activities, regardless of physical disabilities. Terrell will adapt games to include students in wheelchairs so they can participate instead of just having to observe in places like PE and recess. Keep up the good work, Terrell. You're making a difference in the world. As your teacher says, Terrell, keep up that great work. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up, we have Omar Quintino Nunez. Round of applause for Omar. Omar attends Buckingham Exceptional Student Center. His principal is Dr. Vicki Gohagan Mosley, and school resource officer is Deputy Matt Grant. And if there's anybody else that wants to come up for the pictures, and we'll hear his story. Teacher Tabitha Marcelino writes, Omar always has a ready smile and a wonderful sense of humor. When he needs help, he is always gracious and says thank you. He helps with the morning announcements by telling the day of the week and proudly says the Pledge of Allegiance as an example for his classmates. He is not shy about leading the class. Omar is a good friend and will play games with his classmates. He is a role model for answering questions and participating, does a good job with choral reading, and is very good with money as he reviews coins with the class. I know Omar loves his family very much and that each day Omar looks forward to coming to school. Omar always gives his best. Omar, you are quite the leader for your classmates. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Patrick Chester. Let's have a round of applause for Patrick Chester. Patrick attends Buckingham Exceptional Student Center as well. Anybody else that wants to come up with Patrick can come up as well. Teacher Tabitha Marcelino writes, Patrick is a very helpful student and is always polite. He helps transport the lunches and empties the cart. He fills the refrigerator with items as well. When it comes to his IEP goals, Patrick works with extreme diligence and accuracy. I've seen him complete his work with very few errors. Patrick never balks at giving one of his friends turns and welcomes everyone to play cards with him. Patrick also helps one of my students that needs a little extra guidance getting back to class. Great job, Patrick. Patrick Chester, keep up that great work. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Luis Rodriguez. Let's have a round of applause for Luis Rodriguez. Lewis attends Oak Hammock Middle School. His principal is Jennifer McMillan Barnes, and school resource officer is Deputy Edward Antoine. And those attending with Lewis today can please come up to hear his story. Hey, how you doing? Lewis is a 7th grader at Oak Hammock Middle School. His school resource officer, Deputy Edwin Antoine, writes, "While waiting at his bus stop, Lewis found a debit card on the ground. Lewis brought it to the school and immediately turned it over to me. Lewis told me that he hoped we could find the owner so they could keep paying their bills and take care of their family." Lewis's decision to turn in the debit card without hesitation, along with his concern that he showed for the card owner, shows that he deserves the Do the Right Thing award. We couldn't agree more, Lewis. Thank you for your honesty and concern for others. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up, we have Isaac Fernander. Round of applause for Isaac Fernander. Isaac attends Varsity Lakes Middle School. His principal is Dr. Scott Lemaster, and school resource officer is Deputy Robert Rabbit. And if there's anybody else with Isaac today, you can come forward as well. Isaac is an 8th grader at Varsity Lakes Middle School. Dean of Student Discipline Mark Phillips writes, "Isaac's teachers tell me that he is a responsible student who excels in both academics and sports. He maintains focus on his schoolwork and keeps his grades up. He is always on time to class, which in middle school is quite the accomplishment. Isaac shows great leadership in his classes by respecting his peers and teachers and offering help whenever possible. He tries to help his teachers by reminding classmates to quiet down and focus on the lesson. And on the rare occasion when he might have been talking, he is always apologetic. Isaac is a great example of the positive we see in our building every day." Isaac, thank you for taking that leadership role in the classroom. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up is Amaya Nelson. Round of applause for Amaya Nelson. Amaya attends Tice Elementary School. Her principal is Sharice Trent, and school resource officer is Deputy Kevin Ragtout. If there's anybody else with Amaya today, they can come forward as well. Amaya Nelson is a kindergarten at Tice Elementary School. School resource officer Deputy Kevin Regtout writes, "I am the deputy assigned as the school resource officer at Tice Elementary and have already received a lot of help from Amaya. Amaya is always willing to help other students, shows a caring heart, and has leadership skills beyond her years. Recently, another student was struggling to adapt to kindergarten, and Amaya was instrumental in helping this student through this challenging situation. If not for Amaya's caring personality and ability to solve problems, the student would not have been as successful during their first few weeks as a kindergartner. While speaking to our staff, I learned Amaya is a natural leader and has been a positive influence on other students in her class. Amaya has a very outgoing personality and has introduced me to numerous students, which has helped to bridge the connection between students and law enforcement. It is very evident that Amaya is making a positive impact at Tice Elementary, and it is my pleasure to nominate her for the Do the Right Thing Award. Amaya, thanks for always thinking of others. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next, we have Luke Benjamin Mead. Round of applause for Luke Benjamin Mead. Luke Benjamin attends Harns Marsh Elementary School. His principal is Cynthia Hernandez, and school resource officer is Deputy Christine Zumbrum. Luke Benjamin is a second grader at Harns Marsh Elementary School. Teacher Dawn Houchin writes, "Little Benji has a heart of gold. He really does his best every day in following our harmony goals, no matter where we are in school, promising to be honest, safe, kind, respectful, and a focused student. He comes to school every day eager to learn and mingle with his friends, but knows when to flip the switch and focus on his work." Recently, Benji was behind a fellow student when the student dropped some money that he needed to purchase earbuds with. Benji picked up the money and jogged up to return the money to the student. This is the kind of person Benji is, and we are lucky to have him. Luke Benjamin, thank you for your honesty and leadership. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up, we have Jason Ruiz. Round of applause for Jason Ruiz. Jason attends Sunshine Elementary School. His principal is Aaron Brandow, and school resource officer is Deputy Rodolphus Hall. And those with Jason can come up front as well, and we'll share his story. Yep. Jason is a fourth grader at Sunshine Elementary. Teacher Lori O'Hara writes, "Jason shows excellent class behavior and leadership. He is always respectful, both to adults and to classmates. In addition, he is responsible. Jason shows integrity, and I know I can trust him to be honest and do what he should. I have also seen Jason's example improve the effort and behavior of other students in his group. When they noticed how much Jason was participating in class, they began answering and discussing questions as well, increasing their own participation and effort. Jason isn't loud or attention-seeking, but he is a quietly positive influence on the others in the class. I appreciate his positive attitude and determination to always be his best." Jason, thank you for showing that you don't necessarily have to be loud to be a leader. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up is Daniele Roland. Round of applause for Daniele. Great job with the Pledge of Allegiance today. Daniele attends Athenian Academy Charter School. Her principal is Wendy Lee, and school resource officer is Deputy Britt Smith. And those with Daniele can please come up to hear her story. Daniele is a sixth grader at Athenian Academy Charter School. School resource officer Deputy Britt Smith writes, "Daniele Roland is a compassionate, caring student. She strives to do her best on any task. Daniele is always respectful and helpful to peers, teachers, and staff, and has routinely volunteered to help them through the day and even after school. She also helps fold up the school's American, Greece, and Florida state flag at dismissal. She has demonstrated great leadership in her classroom and in the aftercare classroom. She speaks 2 languages and has helped monolingual students understand their tasks and work. Daniele is always willing to go the extra step to do what is right. Thank you, Daniele, for being an exceptional student with a heart of gold. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you." James English is next. Round of applause for James English. James attends Bayshore Elementary School. His principal is Ben Osman, and school resource officer is Deputy Kelsey Waldrop. Those with James can please come up front and we will share his story. James is a fourth grader at Bayshore Elementary School. School library paraprofessional Michelle Midget writes, James is new to Bayshore Elementary School this year and has been attending our after-school program called Busy Bees. James has shown that he is always ready to help any way he can. While at Busy Bees, James came to the aid of another student that had become stuck on a playground ladder. Before I could make it to the student in distress, James quickly assessed the situation and was able to help the student down and kept the student from sustaining any injuries. James's strong decision-making skills and leadership emulate the qualities of the Do the Right Thing program and make him an excellent nominee. James, thank you for your quick decision-making and prompt action. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up, we're honoring two students, Madison Wu and Victoria Landeros. Round of applause for Madison and Victoria. Madison and Victoria both attend Bonita Springs Elementary School. Their principal is Rob Cooper and school resource officer is Lieutenant Angelo Vaughn. And if there's anybody else that wants to join us, they can come on up. Madison Wu is a fifth grader at Bonita Springs Elementary, and Victoria Landeros is in the fourth grade. Aftercare Director Estella Sandoval writes, Madison Wu and Victoria Landeros both attend the aftercare program. When students around them make unfavorable decisions, they quickly begin to set the pace for model behavior in aftercare. They exemplify and live their pause motto every day, which is, I am positive, I am always responsible, I am welcoming to others, and I am a scholar. These are two students that we can always count on to do the right thing. Congratulations, Madison and Victoria. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Isabella Alvarez. Round of applause for Isabella. Isabella attends G. Weaver Hips Elementary School. Her principal is Dr. Deborah Noss, and school resource officer is Deputy Michelle Henson. And Isabella's parents can come forward as well. Isabella is a first grader at G. Weaver Hips Elementary. Teacher Rachel Ludwig writes, Isabella is a wonderful listener and a role model for her classmates. She is exemplary at leading our class down the hallways and to lunch and specials. Isabella remembers her signals for our BLAST program, and I call on her to demonstrate that to each of her classmates. She is friendly, helpful, and a true asset as a student in my classroom. I am a new teacher this year, and I like that I can call on Isabella for help and to share her knowledge. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to nominate and honor Isabella. Isabella, it's our privilege to honor you with a Do the Right Thing award. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Christopher Bobbs is up next. Let's have a round of applause for Christopher Bobbs. his own cheering section here today. All right. Christopher attends Gateway Elementary School. His principal is Cherry Gibson, and school resource officer is Deputy Damon Geiger. And those with Christopher today can please come forward and we'll share his story. Christopher is a fifth grader at Gateway Elementary School. Music teacher Connie Edmund writes, Christopher has perfect attendance. He shows up to do his safety patrol post every day. He also monitors the halls and helps the younger students to get to their classrooms on time. If I ask Christopher to do something, he does it without complaining. This is a rare quality that even many adults have trouble acquiring. We are a Leader in Me school here at Gateway Elementary, and Christopher demonstrates leadership skills daily. Thank you, Christopher, for showing all of us what it means to be a leader. We can't say it any better, Christopher. Congratulations. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Vanessa Bonfim is next. Let's have a round of applause for Vanessa. Vanessa also attends Gateway Elementary School, where she is in the 3rd grade. Those with Vanessa can please come forward. Teacher Caroline Rollins writes, Vanessa is definitely a student that loves making others feel good. She brings joy to everyone that she is around. Recently, Vanessa was sitting next to a student who had been out a couple of days. Vanessa helped the student catch up on her schoolwork. Vanessa always helps others while excelling at her own classwork, tests, and quizzes as well. I am so proud of you, Vanessa, and cannot wait to see how far you go in 3rd grade. We are so lucky to have you in our classroom. Vanessa, thank you for always being willing to help others. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Liam Wilson is next. Let's have a round of applause for Liam Wilson. Liam attends Pine Woods Elementary. His principal is Leslie Gunderson, and school resource officer is Deputy Latima Murray. And those with Liam can please come forward as well. Liam is a 5th grader at Pine Woods Elementary. Teacher Lori Donahue writes, I have known Liam for nearly 5 years, and I've had the pleasure of teaching him art, which he is passionate about. And I have watched him grow into a young, responsible gentleman. What I wish to nominate Liam for is his kindness to others. Many new students arrive at our school and have no idea where to go to find their class. Liam explains and guides the way. I believe a few students hold back sometimes, waiting for Liam to return just so he can escort them to class. I do not have to ask Liam to help. He is a natural at helping others and has a huge heart full of kindness. I hope that you consider him to be honored, as he definitely does the right thing. Liam, thank you for your kindness and always being there to help others. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up is JT Mahan. Round of applause for JT. JT attends Hancock Creek Elementary School. His principal is Dr. Denise Phillips Luster, and school resource officer is Deputy Rachel Bauer-Fithian. And those with JT can come forward as well, please. JT Mahan is a 2nd grader at Hancock Creek Elementary. Nominator Susan Bell writes, I work roundup every day after school, which includes grades K through 5. I concentrate on watching 12 to 14 kindergarten kids. These kids are definitely little compared to the 4th and 5th graders. One little boy is very small and was crying because no one would play ball with him, and he kept saying, there's no one as little as me, and everyone makes fun of me. As he was telling me this sad story, I didn't realize JT was listening. JT went to the boy and said, I'll play ball with you, and I could even teach you some tricks that I know. The two of them tossed, kicked, and bounced the ball for 25 minutes. JT has taken on this big brother role for a handful of kindergarten students. I feel that JT recognizes and deserves attention for his helpful actions, and I think Hancock Creek Elementary School is very lucky to have him as a student. JT is a born leader and is going places. JT, thanks for being a big brother to others. You are definitely a leader, and the Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Jaden Romano. Let's have a round of applause for Jaden Romano. Jaden attends Three Oaks Elementary School. His principal is Tammy Lemaster, and school resource officer is Deputy William Weaver. Yeah. And those with Jaden can please come forward as well. Jade Romano is a second grader at Three Oaks Elementary. Teacher Rebecca Gilmore writes, during recess, one of the children was bitten by a snake. During the heat of the moment, Jaden quickly got my attention and informed me what happened. His reaction was prompt and powerful, which allowed the student to receive quick medical attention. Had Jaden not acted as quickly as he did, the student may well have had a worse outcome, and other students may have been in danger as well. In my opinion, Jaden was a hero not only to the student that was bitten, but to the other students who witnessed it, and to myself. Jaden Romano, thank you for your quick, decisive actions to help others. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. And finally, we have Grace Christensen. Round of applause for Grace Christensen. Grace is an 8th grader at Bonita Springs Charter School. Her principal is Carissa Carroll, and school resource officer is Deputy Tyler Macareth. And those with Grace can please come forward and we will share her story. Principal Carissa Carroll writes, Grace came forward and notified her parents and school officials that inappropriate and unethical statements were being made to female students and about other students by a male classmate. Many other female students were aware of this continuing occurrence since the school year began, but no one had reported it. This manner of reporting was in good faith and possibly saved other students from a criminal act occurring, and an investigation was initiated by our school resource officer. By reporting this unethical verbal conduct happening at her school, she did the right thing, even if speaking up put her in an awkward and uncomfortable position. We are so proud of Grace and commend her for her bravery and student leadership. She is a fine young lady that represents our 8th grade student body with pride. We are looking forward to all of her future accomplishments, and not only will enrich her life, but will no doubt positively impact our community. Congratulations, Grace, for truly doing the right thing. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Just a reminder to subscribe to the Lee County School District's YouTube channel, and again, you can watch this broadcast and any other one anytime, day or night. Now, anybody that wants to come up front for one last group photo, if you want to bring your your kids up for that, we can do that in a second as well. But again, thank you for participating and thank you for joining us today. Let's give our students one final standing ovation.